What's up, streamers? So by now, I'm sure everybody's heard about the events that happened yesterday at Charlottesville, Virginia. Pretty much my backyard, about an hour away here in Virginia. First and foremost, I would like to say I condemn and don't support, and I'm appalled by all the factions that were represented there. First off, the organizers who claimed it to be a Unite the Right rally. I don't think that's really what this was about. Their pregame was all White Lives Matter and they had their torches and everything. But then again, I don't support the Antifa groups that came the second day, nor do I support the Black Lives Matter. And most of all, I don't support the mainstream media and George Soros. And that's really where we need to be focused at. The first three groups that I talked about, they're really just useful idiots pushing bad thought processes on everybody else. And it's a bunch of fear tactics. At the end of the day, the mainstream media spins it in a biased way that it was really only white nationalists causing harm and breaking out in violence. That's not the case. Obviously, they were revoked. The organizers got permits to be there. Antifa did not. Black Lives Matter did not. Now, I'm not condoning the white nationalists because, like I said, I'm already appalled by their actions. And it wasn't a Unite the Right rally or protest or whatever the hell they want to call it. And that's why you didn't see a lot of people like Gavin McInnes and other right-leaning people. They didn't show up because they didn't want to be a part of that. You know, if they would have put it out there as, hey, this is a white nationalist rally, I would have respected that. And I think that they have a platform that they should be able to say whatever the hell they want. That's why we have free speech laws. Not for people, I think Stick said it best himself, not for people to say good morning and hello. The freedom of speech laws are for things that we probably don't really want to hear. So that's why we have that, we protect them. First and foremost, the cops did a horrible job. They should have separated the protesters from the people attending the rally. And they shouldn't have shut it down the way they did. And they should have protected all groups. It was really, you can see all the reports from all the other videos. There was a bunch of people mixed together. They pretty much funneled the attendees right through the protesters. And there was no support from the cops to protect anyone. They had to stand down. Now I understand that Virginia's government is more liberal, so I guess maybe they gave the order. I know that the mayor in Charlottesville is reported to be more on the left side. I don't care what side you're on. Everybody, one, has a voice, and they should be able to be heard, get their thought process out, good or bad. Also, we have to be able to protect people on both sides. I don't think that left side people should be getting hit with sticks and bricks and shit. And I don't think that the right people should have had firebombs thrown at them and being maced and all of the, shit that was going on. It's really sickening. But let's really take a step back and think about what we're doing. You got a guy named George Soros who funds these people, buses them in. And he's funded people to go all across, it's not just Virginia, all across the country and other countries too. He's known for meddling in societies. He upheavals the whole underbelly of the society, gets them fighting amongst each other. You know what ends up happening? You break the civilization. What we're going to be headed for if this shit continues, because I see more marches in Seattle, outside of DC, more of the ignorant fucking slogans that all these people propagandize going on. What ends up happening is martial law. And everybody wants their freedoms and their rights. Well, martial law doesn't protect any of that shit. It's like you're literally walking around in jail. That's what it is. You're a jail on the outside society. You're not locked up actually behind a cage, but it feels that way. So that's the biggest issue. Who the fuck wants that? I don't care if you're on the right or the left. And I'm so sick of this identity politics bullshit. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic. I don't give a shit about any of that. What people should be saying, I don't care if you're proud to be white or proud to be black. For me personally, I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud to be white, yeah, sure. Because that's who I am. I can't change the shit. You know what I mean? I'm proud to be a male. That doesn't make me a sexist. Being proud to be white doesn't make me a racist. But most of all, I'm proud to be a fucking American. Does that make me a nationalist now? And if so, I'm fucking guilty as charged. Why wouldn't you love your fucking country? You know, that's the whole point. If you don't love your fucking country, go to a new one. Find a better place. If you don't like your house, you move, right? You don't like your car, you buy a new one. So if you don't like the country, go to a different country. Don't try to change it. You know, I can't change a Pinto into a Lamborghini. It just ain't gonna fucking work. It's not built that way. So I don't know why we're trying to do that with our society, with our laws and shit. But the shit that they were talking at this protest and the rally and all that is ignorant on all sides. They're useful idiots. Because all their ideas really suck. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think everybody should have the chance to speak. Because I firmly believe a bad argument isn't going to get traction. But when you start shutting shit down like that, what you do is you make people more aggressive, more violent, and they get a bigger platform. So when Antifa and Black Lives Matter shuts down a white supremacist rally, what ends up happening is they don't get to speak. Then other people get upset and they're like, wait a minute, they just shut these people down. They didn't let them talk. They're against the white people. And then you have naive white people going, well, they must be against white people, white genocide and shit like that. Instead of having the door open for communication. That's what I've argued many times. We should try to have a door of communication. You know, let people talk. You know, and listen to understand, not to respond. Don't always just try to be thinking of a rebuttal and how you can shoot somebody down. I mean, I'll debate with anybody, and I'll let you know after your argument, this is why I don't think it works. But that's having a conversation. That's having a debate. I'm not calling you a racist Nazi or a white supremacist or a black supremacist, you know. And I don't care. I think black people should be pro-black. I think white people should be pro-white. I think Hispanic should be pro-Hispanic. Why not? That makes sense. You know, that doesn't make the pro-black person mean like he's less white people. It just means he wants what's best for his people, his race or how gender. I understand that type of shit, but at the end of the day, we should be pushing for what's best for Americans all around. Male, female, black, white, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. Old people, young people. We should all want the same things. It's liberties. But I have so many issues with this. Like, people don't understand what rights really are. It's an idea. So, yes, you have the right to freedom of speech. And everybody wants to throw that one out there. Right? I got the right to say what the hell I want to say. Well, at the end of the day, you only have that right if the other people believe you. Believe that you have that right. And that's why you have so much controversy at these rallies. Because the protesters don't believe that you have the right to do that shit. So, at the same time, you believe that you have the right to have safe spaces. Well, if I don't believe you don't have that right, then you don't have that fucking right. Because your thought process doesn't mean a damn thing to me. And that's what we need to get away from. We need to hear people's thought processes, kind of understand them and go, okay, well, this will work and this won't work. Actually have dialogue. Fists and punches and kicks and firebombs and mace, that's not dialogue. That's everything by force. And guess who will win there? The government. The government will win by force. Because they'll bring fucking tanks down your street. And you can throw as many fucking rocks as you want and, you know, try to mace soldiers, and when they're shooting you with a fucking bullet, you're gonna lose. Look at Venezuela right now. Doesn't look like too much happy shit's going on there. Look at many countries that has tried to go against their government. The government always wins. Seldom in history do I think a government's been overthrown. And if it has been, it's probably been aided by other governments. Maybe not right indirectly, but indirectly. They've always been aided by another government. So you still need more force. And that's not the way we're going to advance as a society, as a country, or anything. You know, and a lot of people, I've seen it all over the internet today. You're talking about the car thing. I'll be the first to admit it. That shit looked horrible. And I feel bad for the people who got hit, but at the same time, I really don't. I don't. It's the same type of right thought process. Yes, you have the right to conjugate and stuff like that, but obviously that person didn't agree with your right. So they drove through you. And, I know my mom told me never to play in the street because fucking cars come that way. So at the end of the day, I guess you guys were naive enough to think that this shit was okay and this would never happen to you. Just like the person that thinks that they're going to go there and have conversation with someone didn't think they were going to get hit with a bike lock or mace in the face or had M80s thrown at them. Well, this is the reality. Not everybody respects your fucking rights. So we need to do more listening and talking than we need to oppose everything. You can disagree with somebody, but once you start like trying to form blocks of people to oppose something and shut something down, you're just as guilty. Your thoughts don't matter anymore. You're just as wrong as them. It takes two to tango. So this person throws the first punch, this guy throws the second punch. Guess what? You both are fighting. It doesn't make either one of you right. But at the end of the day, that's we're headed for tanks coming down your fucking street. And I don't think that's a area where we really want to be. Now, I know that people are getting paid by Soros, and it seems like it's a great idea, and you're fighting the injustice of the world. Half of the time, you guys don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Get your facts straight. At the end of the day, the speech or the rally should have been about the statue. That's what it was really about, and, they didn't want the Robert E. Lee statue taken down. That Virginia's already passed that they're going to take it down, and they're like, oh, this is, white slave owners and this and that. Well, Robert E. Lee didn't own any slaves. He fought for the South, but he didn't own any slaves. So why are we actually taking down his statue? And why even try to erase history? Not like the shit didn't happen. Or trying to erase history doesn't change anything. It's not going to make anyone feel any better. If the statue comes down, are you going to wake up tomorrow and feel like you're not oppressed? If that's what you feel? No, you're still going to so you're going to look for the next thing. Instead of actually facing the fucking world. Stop blaming other shit. Like, the statue has nothing to do with anything. It never affected you in your fucking life. And if it did, grow the fuck up. Man up a little bit. Or woman up, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's all the same thing nowadays anyways. That's what the trans say. But that's just my thoughts on the Virginia thing. I think they're all fucking idiots. And when you start going around saying white lives matter, black lives matter, this life matter, no fucking lives matter. Because we're all at the fucking bottom. I say this time and time again when I talk to people. Black lives don't matter, white lives don't matter, Hispanic lives don't matter, poor lives don't matter. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. We're all at the fucking bottom. And they want us to fight down here amongst the bottom with each other. Because that way, we're never going to get over the fucking top to see what's really the fuck going on. So, no lives matter. None of us do. We don't mean a goddamn... And same thing when it comes to, like, being held down and suppressed. You don't fucking matter enough for anyone to go out of their way to suppress your ass. None of us. We ain't shit. You ain't shit, I ain't shit, none of us is shit. So fuck all that crybaby... there's always somebody else out there trying to get us. No, what they're trying to do is just eliminate the bullshit. Eliminate us having any type of fucking rights. There's a bigger control system at work here. And you guys are just the useful idiots on both sides. This identity politics is dumb as shit. Because if we don't stand together as a nation, unified, that's the way that they're going to bring down the United States. We're the freest fucking country in the world. However, we can't get ourselves to stop bickering over dumb, hypothetical things that none of us can even fucking prove. You take one shot of this over here and go, oh, it has to be racism or it has to be sexism. No. That's just the way the media spins this shit for us to argue. So we don't see what's really going on. We are the actors on the fucking stage right now doing the play. Not realizing there's people behind the curtain pulling the fucking strings. And I'm not trying to jump into some conspiracy theory shit. It's obvious. This shit's been going on for fucking years. And you guys are idiots. And you're useful idiots. And like I said, it's on both sides. The fucking white supremacists, the Black Lives Matter, the Antifa, all three groups are fucking stupid. And I don't agree with any of them. You know? It's amazing how in everyday life you can walk and talk and speak to people. But you see this shit on the news that it seems like a fucking white person can't talk to a black person. Unless they think that other white people should die. You got the one college professor saying that for Christmas all he wants is white genocide. Start with yourself then, motherfucker. Put a bullet in your head. I mean, that's ignorant as shit. Like, anyone who thinks that, like, any other race is better or worse, or that's ignorant as shit. And you're part of the fucking problem. You know, and that's how this shit fucking builds up steam. You know? It's like an avalanche. Just one small snowball that comes down the fucking mountaintop. Before you know it's a great big boulder. It's really insane. But you can thank George Soros. It was his birthday yesterday. Thank him for a lot of that shit. He's just pumping millions and millions of dollars into this fucking hate-filled society bullshit that's going on. My only advice is wisen up. You know, start looking around. Think about what you want out of life for real. How you want your kids or future kids to live. And if it ain't in this type of fucking crazy violentness and race baiting bullshit, or do you want them to have actual rights? Change your actions, because this is bullshit.